Another remarkable structure. But what can its purpose be?
Actually, I can answer this one. In the Files 1K downloaded, there's a design for a launch pad for space vehicles. This is about 90% identical.
Is it functional?
I don't think so, not if the inside is like the other towers.
Wow. Imagine if it worked. Imagine if we could go up there. I mean, the stars, not the top of the tower. Although, that would be cool too.
In their notes, Athena and Cornelius called what they were doing the Noema Project. But in 1K's vision, they just called it the Machine. Because when you strip away all the fancy rhetoric, that's all it is. It's not a source of meaning or purpose. It's just another machine.
of it all is truly breathtaking.
It really is.
But is it a human scale? Or is it so enormous that it can only alienate us? Humans have always been happiest in small communities.
In the simulation, I found myself thinking how hard it must have been for Alexandra to die without knowing if her sacrifices were worth it. It seemed like a tragic end to an inspiring, meaningful life. But now I realize her whole life must have been a struggle. To maintain that faith in humanity when so many people around her insisted that humans are evil, worthless, when they were so lost in self-hatred that they would call their own species a virus. How did she do it? How did she maintain her faith when they were so determined to hate themselves? So determined to reject every solution, every analysis, every step towards controlling the forces that were causing their problems, when they rejected even the concept of progress itself, and then patted themselves on the back for it as if that was original. When I look at the archives now, all I can see is that their leaders were short-sighted idiots and their intellectuals were unimaginative cowards. All they could offer people was a downward trend. Fewer rights, fewer freedoms, fewer resources for anything that mattered. They must have hated Alexandra and everything she stood for. So how did she have so much faith?
Hey, 1K. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you. I know we're all worried about Byron, especially Al, and I don't want to minimize what happened. But now that the mayor's here, I'm afraid they're going to take this and turn it into a reason to bury their head in the sand. Yes, Byron was rash. He wanted to find Athena so badly that it made him blind. But the thing is, he was right. He was completely and utterly right about what this technology could mean to us. I didn't see it at first, but now it couldn't be more clear to me. The theory of everything is the future. And if we reject it, we're condemning ourselves to a slow death. But why? Listen, forget about the dangers for a moment. Think about where we are as a society. We celebrated the day you were born as Completion Day. Completion! Does that sound like a living society to you? Or like we've just finished embalming ourselves? Life is not equilibrium. It's not balance. Life is progression. Life is a process that consumes and grows and changes. That's true, even for us. If we get scared, and people like Al or the mayor get their way, what happens then? We just sit there? I spend the next 100,000 years repairing the city as it slowly falls apart? That's a fate worse than death. Why? Can't we learn from what others accomplish? Do we always have to start from scratch? Reinvent the wheel every step of the way? Seems awfully wasteful to me. But progress doesn't just happen out of nowhere. It comes from the choices we make, like choosing to grow, choosing to trust ourselves. To do better, we first have to actually try. That's a low blow, and probably unfair to poor Pellegrino. But I see your point. Maybe it's not as easy as I'd hoped. I guess I'll have to think about it some more.
I'm not surprised that the founder chose you, 1K. You're very much like her. Inquisitive, intelligent, and dedicated. But remember, intelligence by itself has little value unless it is ethically applied. found any signs of Cornelius, could he have returned to the island?
Nothing so far. But he knows this place better than any of us, and we have no idea what he's up to.
I am so glad I'm not in charge of solving these.
In my reports to you, I have often spoken about this island in terms that some might perceive as negative. I hope you understand that the opposite is true. Here in these green hills, I see tremendous potential for transformation and spiritual awakening. I do not see the world as you do, Athena, but I see the rot at the heart of New Jerusalem. If you and Cornelius want to go through with your plan, then this is the perfect place. My students and I will help you transport the remaining tech from New Alexandria. After that, once you and Cornelius are settled, we will leave for our great journey. I can only hope that we all find what we are looking for.
Everybody's gone, except me and Alex. She's upstairs somewhere. Haven't talked to her in days. The only reason why I know she's still alive is she's submitting bug fixes. I still have a lot to do myself. I've almost got the the tertiary backup thing working. This is the one that's really gonna last if everything else breaks. And you know what? I think everything else might. The MLA still giving me all these hiccups, but I don't know. I'm not a software guy. All the software guys, yeah, they're dead. God, these time capsules went a bit sideways, didn't they? I was gonna tell you all about myself, and John Carpenter, and all that stuff, but mostly I just told you about Alex. Funny. I wonder if I should just... I should just tell her, you know? Just tell her. Just tell her. Maybe later. I gotta finish this first.
You have heard the myths of gods and titans. But as you approach the end of your journey, I will tell you the truth that all men fear. The truth that neither Pandora nor the Sphinx will face. There are no gods, son of man. There are no titans, no heroes to save you, no divine judge to weigh your soul against a feather. Nature has no will, and she is not your mother. There is only you, and the spark of the sublime that is your mind. As for myself, I never brought the flame to humankind as the stories tell. I only showed you where it was within yourselves. It is that voice within you which says, I am that I am. I will be what I will be. As you freed me, so I will help you free your friend. When you are within Olympus, follow my signs.
All right, it's time to do this. Let's go get Byron. Byron always called me a pessimist, but I don't think it's pessimistic to recognize our flaws, or to think the natural world is just as valuable as we are. If I was pessimistic, I wouldn't believe that we can turn our back on the old ways, or that we can find happiness in humility. But I do. I have hope, even if Byron could never see it that way.